Look, I know you want to be successful at what you do. You want to matter. You want to do things that people care about. Well, what if I told you I have the secret to doing it? Just make a lot of shirt. It is my belief that the most likely path to any level of success, especially if you want to be a creative person, because that's what I think about, because that's what I'd want to do. Selfish. Is to make a lot of things. Yeah. A lot of those things are gonna suck. A lot of those things are gonna be unoriginal. I've made videos just like this one a million times. And a lot of those things are just gonna be stupid. I made videos like that a million times. And you're probably gonna regret a lot of things. Probably shouldn't have eaten all those Tide Pods. I didn't make any videos about it, I was just hungry. But making a lot of things that are like the things you want to ultimately make has to be the way to do it. But I know you're probably saying, hey, but what about all those people who did like one thing and it was amazing? Okay, yes, to make something truly great, you probably have to focus on that one thing for a long time. But it's quite rare that someone just did one thing on their first try and it was amazing. Usually that great thing that was made was the culmination of a lifetime of making a lot of things. They're just like, okay, I'm done making all this bullshit. I'm gonna try to make my great thing because I'm better now. Because making lots of things makes you better at making things, preparing you for that ultimate great thing you want to make, whatever that, like the greatest ham sandwich or whatever it is you're working on. My favorite video on YouTube is History of the World, I Guess, by Bill Wurtz. It is a fast-paced, ridiculously hilarious chronicling of the entire history of the universe, actually. Not just the world, a bit of false advertising there. But he did say, I guess, and I guess he guessed wrong. Anyway, Bill Wurtz didn't wake up one morning, never having seen a computer in his life, pick up a computer and just poop out that video. Before that, he did almost equally as great History of Japan. And before that, he spent years doing hundreds of 10-second little short animated nuggets of hilarity. And it wasn't planned. He didn't know he was going to make this amazing culmination later. He was learning as he went along. And in fact, that video could not have possibly existed had he not made all those other videos. Now, I'm not saying if you just make a ton of things, you will magically be successful later, but I am saying you will get better at the thing and you'll be prepared for making bigger things. And you'll probably gain at least some level of success along the way. My entire career is built on making a ton of shirt in the late aughts and throughout the teens and to this day and for decades to come. And after I'm dead, I will have AI recreate my videos and in that way become immortal. Anyway, in the late aughts, I made a bunch of videos and that led to me having an office job making shirt for the office job. It was a gradual thing. Each video I made, I never saw as a standalone thing. Tried to make it as good as I could in the time allotted, but I also knew that I would be better at the next one, and the next one, and the next one, and the next one. Well, sometimes it'd be worse, and then it'd be better, worse, better, you know, up and down, but kind of trended like this. Whoop. So, now we've established without a shadow of a doubt, because of my rock-solid argument that the only possible way you can succeed at anything is if you make a lot of shirt. Well, how do I make a lot of shirt? Click! Several ways, and I'm going to tell you about those ways, but first, I'm going to tell you about Tiege Hanley. Because after you've made a lot of shirt like I have and want to continue to make it for a living, you have sponsors. But not just any sponsors I actually use like Tiege Hanley. Skincare for men. This right here, this doesn't come easy. I probably shouldn't make this face, that's the argument. So as I work on becoming immortal, one way I'm trying to do it is through skincare. I'm actually 85 years old. They have very simple systems that come with instructions. You probably shouldn't throw the instructions away willy-nilly. You might lose them. It's right there. Okay. I recommend starting with level 1. That's pretty intuitive. Hey man, what's the first number? 6. It's 1! You idiot! Level 1 comes with the face wash to wash your dirty face. The scrub it up dub, you know what I'm saying? I don't know why I said that. I didn't know what else to say. AM moisturizer, keep your mornings wet. And the PM moisturizer, because there's nothing better than a moist PM, you know what I'm saying? And if you become a member, you get special deals. You better, because I don't see a reason to become a member otherwise, to be honest with you. Like 20% off the retail price, exclusive monthly deals, pause and cancel anytime, and free shipping across the US, as in United States, not like as in us. That's called friend shipping. And with me, that's expensive as f***. And they have over 7,000 5-star reviews from customers across the globe. 5 stars. That's a lot of stars. That's 5 million more than negative 4,999,995 stars. John S. says, high quality. Anonymous said, cleared my skins quickly in few months. Not only do you have more than one anonymous in your name, you have more than one skin. Around H says, amazing stuff. That H must stand for, holy boy, we agree. And you're like, Craig, geez, this is an amazing deal. I'm going to do it because it's going to help my skin. I expect nothing more. But if you click the first link below, you get 30% off your first box and a free gift. Tiege Hanley, more like Tiege handing me more and more good stuff. You know what I'm saying? Okay, let's move on. Where were we? How do I make a lot of shirt? Mike. Is that how I said that? God, I'm obnoxious. Why am I so obnoxious? First of all, if you want to make a lot of things, you got to figure out the things that you want to make a lot of. For some of you, it's like, duh, I know exactly what I want to do for a living. I love eating donuts, so I'm going to become a donut taste tester or something. But for many, figuring out what it is you want to do is the hardest part. And it might be true that the people who are most successful at the thing are the people who have known their entire lives exactly what they wanted to do. And many people just don't have that. I can't really say exactly what you should do to find out. Talk to yourself in the mirror. What do I want to do with my life? Well, considering you've been making YouTube videos for the past 16 years, and while it's had its ups and downs, it is ultimately a great, rewarding thing that you do. Oh, yeah, right. Why am I even asking? Because this is a funny cutscene as an example of what people should do. Oh, yeah, right. Get in touch with nature to find yourself. Where the f am I? Mark Manson, author of Subtle Art of Not Giving a f, has a great article with 7 questions you can ask yourself to find a purpose. Now, I don't want to get into it too deeply, except I'm going to list every single question right now. What's your favorite flavor of your sandwich, and does it come with an olive? Basically, what struggles are you willing to tolerate to get what you want? 2, what's true about you today that would make your 8-year-old self cry? What childhood passion have you lost? 3, what makes you forget to eat and poop? Basically, what do you truly enjoy so much that you just can't stop? First thing that comes to mind to me is video games, which back then I didn't think was a good thing, but now you can actually make a good living playing video games, so... But I have also refrain from pooping and almost pooped my pants in the middle of video editing. So how can you better embarrass yourself? What scares the crap out of you? I find that if I go after the thing that scares me most, I learn something about myself. How are you going to save the world? What problem do you care about that is larger than you? How can you make a difference? Gun to your head, if you had to leave the house every day, all day, where would you go and what would you do? For me, that's probably the movie theater, and what I would do is try to find a place to hide while they're collecting tickets because, then I don't have to pay. If you were going to die 1 year from today, what would you do and how would you want to be remembered? I would want to be remembered as the guy who knew he was going to die a year from now, but then didn't because he lived forever. Okay, now that you followed my brilliant advice that I stole from someone else, you know what you want to do. How do you do it a lot? Here's how. Lower the stakes. Not those stakes, and not those stakes, and not those stakes, and not those stakes. I don't know what I'm putting in now. I'm just going to keep saying stakes and hopefully figure something out while I'm editing. And not those stakes, not those stakes, not those stakes. I wrote a whole newsletter article about this, so I'm going to draw on my favorite source, me. Stakes are basically the consequences of failure and the successes of success. Personally, I enjoy things most when failing doesn't really matter at all. But in order for failure to not matter at all, that kind of also means that success doesn't really matter at all. Just do the thing because it feels good to do the thing. When I started making videos, I just used the camera and the laptop that I had. I didn't even have a tripod. I didn't really care about lighting. I put as much time into the quality of the end product as was allotted. One day, get it done, put it up there. Next day,
put another one up. Next day, put another one up.
Oh, someone commented that they didn't like the hoobity boo. I don't care! I mean, pay attention to the comments, take them as constructive criticism, even if they're not very constructive. Probably important to get your facts straight if you're doing a factually based thing. It's probably important to not offend unnecessarily. But in the beginning, if no one's watching, you got a little leeway there to screw up. But I've always avoided investing too much into the thing. Usually my videos cost me $0 to very little dollars and only as much time as needed. Not so much time that my life sucks. I minimize the consequences of failure. But there will be still failure, and if you're making a lot of things, a lot of failure, and that's good. You can learn what the worst case scenario is, or most likely case scenario when you fail. And more often than not, if your stakes are low, the most likely case scenario of failure it's not that bad. You don't need to put thousands and thousands of dollars and thousands of hours into everything you do. You don't need to upend your life and the lives of the people around you. Not when you're in making lots of things mode. When you're in making lots of things mode, you should just get comfortable with making things in a safe environment where failure is just for the lols. Do that over and over and over again, and you'll get better and better and more comfortable with failure and more confident. Then you'll be ready to make the Sistine Chapel. But don't make the Sistine Chapel that's already been done. Make the 17 Chapel. Don't make the Mona Lisa, make the Mona Lisa. But that's only later when you're practiced. That's the time to give the Taj Mahal. Right now you're doing the Taj Mahal. I just think when some people really jump in to attempt a new big project or direction in life, you overdo it. You don't need to buy the most expensive equipment. You don't need to block off several weeks where you don't talk to anyone. You don't need to tell everyone you're making your masterpiece and it's going to be amazing, because then when you're done with it, you're going to be less confident to show people because you built it up so much. Lower the stakes. Don't spend a lot of money. Figure out how to fit the project into your regular life without disrupting everything and everyone you love. Don't talk it up as the be-all end-all of who you are now. You're setting yourself up for failure and a worst-case scenario failure. What I want for you is the best-case scenario failure. I want you to fail good and feel good and make lots and lots of things. And finally, have fun. Enjoy it. It's not always going to be fun. It's a project that you think is worthwhile is, of course, not always going to be fun, and you shouldn't expect it to always be fun. It shouldn't make you want to tear your eyeballs out either every time you do it. If that's the case, it's not sustainable. When I started making videos, I felt it in my soul that I wanted to do it, and every time I did it, it was cathartic and wonderful. Obviously, after 15 years, sometimes it's not always great. But I still feel that desire, and doing this video was incredibly fun. Not that you should have to feel that every time you do the thing you want to do. You shouldn't feel terrible either. If you feel that, maybe it's not the thing you want to do, but it's not necessarily true. It doesn't mean quit, I quit, it sucks all the time. Blech. There's middle ground here. Lower the stakes. Thank you. This has been my Craig Talk. Remember, you get 30% off your first box and a free gift from Tish Hanley if you click the link. I just put up a video on my main channel in which China and I figured out the perfect sleep schedule routine. Okay, nothing's perfect. I'm setting myself up for failure, but I think it's a fun time if you want to check that out.